Well, well, well. Here we are again. You've tuned in to see me shove my hand in my bucket of old OCs and pull one out to just absolutely start roasting. And I will. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in some past video that I used to have literally over 100 Sonic OCs, and while I somehow produced art of a good most of them, not all of them had fully developed backstories like the likes of Clair the Rabbit or Leafstar the Hedgehog. The privilege of a backstory was reserved for my favorite OCs, but you wouldn't be able to tell they were my favorites based on how bad they were. You would have thought I hated these fools. On today's episode of Bad OC Archives, we're going to be looking at a character that has shown up briefly in one of my old art tours and was one of my main characters. Her name was Clair the Rabbit. Let me throw her up on the screen. And now I immediately want to take her off the screen. But here she is, in all of her pink Cream the Rabbit wearing a wig glory. Before we get into what her deal was, I do want to say this is a character that I've recently actually dug up from the grave and completely redid. She already has a new design and a new story, and I actually even have a bunch of brand new art of her. The most recent was actually drawn just a couple of weeks ago. Her name is still Clair, though spelled with an E at the end, because for some reason I didn't spell it like that when I was a kid, despite my friends yelling at me that it looked wrong, spelled C-L-A-I-R. But it's okay, I rectified my wrong, and I rectified all my other wrongs regarding her that I'll now tell you about. Everyone, this is the legendary, or infamous, Clair the Rabbit. According to this drawing right here, Clair was originally created on January 24th, 2010, and a couple months later I made that new look for her. I actually don't have any other art of her old look. It was kinda lost to the sands at times, but luckily I did find some recolors of it. I'll pop those up on the screen now. Yeah, they're kinda super not great. Big fan of how wiggly wobbly they look. You can tell my hand was struggling with the brush tool of my little mouse. Now, I'm gonna throw the first one back up, and I want to draw your attention to a key detail of this picture. You'll notice that in the old look, she has what is supposed to be a cute expression, but she honestly just looks really creepy. And in the new one, I did my best to draw her looking pissed off, but she just really looks scared if anything. To be fair, I'm scared looking at her, so that makes two of us. Anyway, the reason is because when Clair was originally created, the idea was that she had this super cutesy persona, but in actuality she was super mean, like gaslight gatekeep girl boss kind of mean. Why did I create her to be this way? Here's the part where I say that Clair was literally only created to be a fangirl for Lemon Square's boyfriend. Yeah, you know Lemon Square? Of course you know Lemon Square. If for some reason you're one of the lucky ones who doesn't know Lemon Square, for the context of this video, all you need to know about her was that she was my main and favorite Sonic OC, and she had a boyfriend. There's way more to her than just that, but we don't have time for Lemon Square saga right now. Anyway, in the beginning, Clair's only purpose for being created was to create a love triangle in my own ship. Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad and embarrassing. Little me thought, okay, Lemon Square and her boyfriend are great together, but you know what this story could use? A stalker fangirl who obsessively tries to get her boyfriend to love her. That'll really spice things up. I mean, I guess it did. Clair was, what we call a real piece of work. Like I said, when she was first made, the way I drew and roleplayed her was that she was so innocent and sweet, and she would never steal another girl's boyfriend. She just accidentally fell in love with Lemon's boyfriend, and oh my gosh, she had no idea he even had a girlfriend. But she still wants him, of course, because, she can't control her feelings. And also, she's, totally better than Lemon Square, so he should love and want her instead. Which, okay, I guess that's a character. But then she just, started getting more and more unhinged as time went on. I say, quote, as time went on, but I'm pretty sure I started making her unhinged 2 weeks after creating her. I've mentioned this in my old art tour videos, but I used to write tons of old fanfictions for my OCs. One of them that I've mentioned, called I Told You I Was Coming Back, actually featured Clair. I plan to read it for a video one day, so I won't spoil the genius story now, but I think it's relevant to mention there's literally a scene in the story where Clair pulls Lemon's boyfriend aside, asks why he won't love her instead of Lemon, and when he can't give her an answer to her absolutely bizarre out-of-the-blue question, she pulls a knife out of nowhere and stabs him in the legs. Yeah, just giving you a taste of what kind of character she was. So in the beginning, when I first created her, Clair's entire character was not only to introduce a love triangle in Lemon's relationship, but she also hated her and would try to come up with schemes to either harm her or get rid of her. Of course, none of them would ever work, but I think the craziest part is nothing ever happened to Clair either. Like, no punishments. She could plan out a whole murder plot to get rid of Lemon. It would fail, of course. And then everyone else would be like, yeah, it's just Clair. She's so quirky, isn't she? I mean, at least they were supporting women's hobbies, I guess. In 2014, I actually took a stab at redesigning and rewriting Clair's character for the first time, just like she did to the boyfriend's legs, because I wanted to spruce her up a bit. This is what that redesign looked like, and you can definitely say I tried. And yes, at this point, her name was Clair Lamina. I don't know why, but I had to write it out on the image just to make sure you knew. It was important to me, apparently. This isn't good, but I feel like you could immediately improve it by taking off that yellow shirt. I don't understand why it has a ribbon with a white bar coming off of it that doesn't look very good. The plaid on the skirt is also pretty hard to look at. You can barely even tell there's allegedly yellow in there somewhere. Also, her legs are brown because she was supposed to be wearing transparent tights, but I guess she had a lease from Sonic 06 syndrome because I remember some of my friends asking me why her legs were a different color from the rest of her body. Real ego blow right there. Now, this 2014 redesign also comes with some written out information. Allow me to read it for you now. I wrote this file in my stash and it's titled, quote, Clair Info, whoop whoop whoop. Name, Clair Serenity Lamina. Gender, female. Species, rabbit. Age, 17 years. Birthday, December 5th, 1996. Oh, girl, you're no longer 17 anymore. You're about to be 27. Ooh. Zodiac, Sagittarius. Relationship status, single. This is a shock. Sexuality, heterosexual. This is even more of a shock to me. Love interest, NA. Parentheses, she gets attracted to others easily, however. I love how that's like staged as a threat. Like, watch out, she might be single, and she might not have any love interest, and she might come after you. Personality. On the outside, Clair is vain, sassy, sarcastic, and doesn't carry a pleasant attitude. She's quick to put others down if she can, and seems to think very highly of herself in return. She is quick to start an argument and stubborn enough to keep going and try and win. However, if you peel back her narcissistic shell, there is another rarely seen side of the pink rabbit. She is very empathetic with others, sensitive, and protective. She keeps these good qualities hidden though, so it's rare if someone can actually see the good side of her. So it seems like a very classic, hard on the outside, soft on the inside, but it seems like she's just terrible all around. Great start. Backstory. The Lamina family was always known for being a fabulously wealthy family whose kids grew up to accomplish amazing feats. Feats? F-E-E-T-S? Feats? Oh, girl. Clair's mother, Margaret Lamina, was a famous fashion designer whose clothes were known all over. All over where? Okay. Her father, William Lamina, was the CEO of a well-known company. I love how there's no explanation of what this company does, what its name is. It's a well-known company, that's all you gotta know. Clair had two brothers, James Lamina and Richard Lamina, who were also becoming quite popular themselves. James had been taking after the father with the unknown mystery business, and Richard had shown great taste in fashion and designing clothes. Then there was Clair. Younger than her brothers by 6 years, she had a lot of catching up to do to be on par with them. However, unlike her older brothers, Clair did not show a lot of potential. I guess Clair was just the cringe-failed daughter of this family. She wasn't interested in all the technical work of running a company, and her fashion tastes were downright awful. Yeah, we could tell, actually. You know what? That's correct. When she was little, Clair was more interesting in playing with her girly toys, and as she got older, she was more interested, I'm glad I used the word right here, in sports such as dancing and cheerleading. This, however, did not coin her a very good reputation compared to her superstar brothers, because dancing and cheerleading are once again girl failure hobbies, I guess. Also, why would her parents not be into her playing with girly toys, quote-unquote girly toys, if the mom's a fashion designer? Like, if she's playing with dolls, wouldn't the mom be like, yeah, that'll get her into fashion, that'll get her good. Why is this a problem? Alright. Over time, Clair started to become fully aware of this. Oh god, she's becoming sentient. Compared to her brother, she wasn't the, quote, good Lamina child. She was the one simply brushed over because she didn't have amazing potential, because she was playing with her, quote, girly toys, I guess. Man, they really hate women in this story. She was the one to branch away from the family businesses. Again, we don't know what the family businesses are. Instead of carrying traditions. This affected Clair greatly, firstly causing her to quit her passions completely. She started growing more bitter, her mental health slowly declining little by little, just like mine is by reading this, until she realized something. She could use this for her own benefit. I don't know where this is going, guys. Clair encased herself with a narcissistic attitude, showing no signs of weakness or letting anyone know she thinks anything less of herself than the best. She became deeply critical of others and wouldn't stop at anything to get what she wanted. She caved in and got into fashion, dressing up and spending hours on her now beautiful appearance. This started to gain her recognition her brothers had. She was now the gorgeous Lamina daughter, the one who could hold her own and wouldn't take anything from nobody. The one who people respected. She was a part of the, quote, good Lamina children. After a while, Clair started to really believe she was like this, and things started taking themselves a bit too far. Her mean personality intensified, the once somewhat nice pink rabbit girl locked deep inside her heart. I like how I couldn't say, like, the once sweet, gentle rabbit, the once somewhat nice. Great. Because of this, she has done questionable things. One being obsessed with another girl's boyfriend for a period of time, trying to win him over, not wanting to give up until she got what she believed to be rightfully hers. She comes across as a royal brat, one who seems to care about nobody but herself, one who always seemed to be a sour girl, even from childhood. I mean, you described her as being somewhat nice in her childhood. That sounds kind of sour to me. I don't know. That was bad. That was bad, but there's still a little bit more, so let's keep going. Fears/phobias. Those are two different things. I'm glad I lumped them together. Rejection. Dominant hand, left. Native tongue, English. Languages spoken, English and French. Theme song, Lights by Ellie Goulding. I'll tell you right now, this song did not fit this incarnation of the character. Her original theme song was also Sugar by Florida, which is not only funny, but it actually kind of fits. I wonder why I changed it. That was pretty iconic. Anyway, we got some extra fun facts. She acts like she hates all performers and will be extremely critical of them, when in reality she's just jealous and bitter that she didn't follow her dreams and be a cheerleader or a dancer. I don't think you can be a professional cheerleader. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think that's a thing outside of school, but hey, dream big, I guess. Clair loves physical contact and will take any chance she gets to make contact with someone that she likes. It's a psychological thing to her. If she can touch them, that means they like her enough to let her touch them and she can one day bring them close to her. I don't know what that means. That's really weird. I don't want to try and dissect what that means. Moving on. Her state of mental health isn't very good at all. When she gets angry, she gets far out of control. And on the flip side, the same thing happens when she gets very upset. She's also extremely impulsive and will be quick to make an action. This is really funny to me because I can tell that I was trying to write her with a specific mental illness, one that I'm very intimately familiar with. And I'll go over this in the video where I redraw her and remake her, and I'll tell you everything I fixed about her. But I tried, you could say an attempt was made here. Even though she's not nearly interested in Lemon's boyfriend as she used to be when she was younger, she still pretends to hate Lemon Square because she feels as if she doesn't and eases up, it will reflect on her being weak. Well, after reading all of that, I'm sure we can all agree that it was basically no better than the original. At least it was funny when she was pulling the knives out of hammerspace and running around stabbing people. That was just an absolute mess, and that bullet point about her liking physical contact will keep me up at night. I am, however, very pleased to say that not only do I have a design for Clair that I finally love, but I fixed her once and for all. But you'll have to stay tuned for that next video where I share all of her new stuff with you. Trust me, she is finally a good character. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Liking and subscribing would mean a lot, but also if you wanted a dislike because Clair was just such a poorly written character and you have to let me know. Believe me, I am ashamed of myself, but I definitely can't stop you. I'll see you in the next one though. Bye guys!